Hi, my name is Jane O'Halloran. I teach Dru Yoga and meditation. In this short video, I want to just work with a posture, the cat posture, and actually my cat is here to join in, for helping ease back pain. Now, non-specific back pain, particularly around the lower back, is usually caused by muscle imbalance. So muscle weakness, some muscles are too weak, some muscles are too tight, caused by poor posture, the way we walk, the way we sit, lack of movement. Sometimes when we start to get a bit of stiffness or pain, we kind of tend to hold and we become rigid, and that makes the muscles even more tight. So gentle flowing movements can really help to rebalance, so they can stretch muscles that are tight, they can strengthen muscles that are weak. Now, that being said, if you're concerned at all about your back, if you've had sudden onset of pain, or you're getting shooting pains, or any symptoms that you're not sure about, please do consult your health professional, your doctor, your physio, whoever that is for you, before embarking on any movement program. So please do that. This is mainly for people who perhaps have had grumbling problems for a while. Their back is a bit stiff. They've just got, aching in their back, or maybe you've been to the doctor and the doctors, you've been through the health system and they've said, well, there's not really anything wrong with you that we can find, but yet you've still got these back problems. So that's what we're going to do. Now, the cat pose is a fantastic posture for flexibility, but it also helps strengthen those core muscles inside the abdominal area and the pelvic area that we need to be strong to hold us up. And I'm going to do the posture with you sat on a chair. Now, this is traditionally the cat pose is done kneeling on all fours. Now, some people find it difficult to kneel. For one, if their knees got a problem with their knees, or even their wrists, it can be uncomfortable. And also, while you're learning the posture, actually, it's easier. Say on the chair, you can see what I'm doing, and you're not getting uncomfortable on your knees. Once you've learned the posture, you can then do it on all fours. You can do it standing. You can do it in different ways. Okay, so I'm going to teach you it. I will demonstrate the posture first, and then we'll break it down and do it together. This shouldn't take too long. Okay, so if you've got a chair, that'd be great. Your feet firmly on the floor. I'll demonstrate, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit sideways for some of the video so you can see what's happening with my back. Okay, so I'm going to move sideways. You can see my back. So, across a bit. So this is what the cat posture looks like. Okay, I hope you can see that. And then sometimes when we finish doing that, we do what we call the Playful Cat, which is actually just moving the body. And for back pain, it's really important that you become confident at moving the body and listening to your body and moving in a nice flowing way with the body. So this is really helpful. And Dru Yoga particularly is a style of yoga that is flowing movement, so it gets you moving. So we're going to start with a couple of things. There's two key things when I teach this in my classes. There's two key areas that I focus on. And the first one is the pelvis. So if you just put your fingers onto your hip bones there, find them. They're in there somewhere. Okay. And so this is kind of the top of the pelvis. The bottom is right, what you're sitting on, really. And again, I'm going to turn sideways because what we're looking at is the pelvic tilt. So if I tilt my hips back, it's like my whole top of my pelvis is moving backwards. And I usually say to some people, I usually say to my students, imagine that you sat on a chair and you're falling asleep. It's like you slump, okay? But it's not the whole back that we're moving here. It's the pelvis that's tilting, okay? And then when the hip bones come forward towards the front, facing where you're going, then your top of your pelvis tilts forward. So it's a tilt of the pelvis. Okay, back, top, the hip bones go back, the hip bones go forward. The tailbone at the base goes underneath, and then it kind of points back. But focus on the hip bones. It's easier when you're sitting. The hip bones come forward, the hip bones come back. So it's like you sat on a chair. Say I'm in neutral. I'm just in neutral here. I start to fall asleep. The hip bones come back. And maybe somebody knocks at the door and I sit up and my hip bones come forward. And in neutral, I'm just here. So you can see the difference. So practice that, just tilting. And actually, for some people, that's enough to start to release the lower back. So just tilt back and forwards with the pelvis. Really good. Okay, and just stop for a moment. And what you might like to do for a minute is just circle. So just circle the hips. Lovely. And do a little bit of that playful movement, the playful cat. Good. Okay. So the hip, the pelvis, the tilt of the pelvis is crucial in the cat posture. If you don't get the tilt of the pelvis, you're not going to get the posture. It all starts from there. Then the second point, which is a really good one in its own for posture, generally for sitting, for standing, is the breastbone here, which we call the sternum, is to lift it very slightly. If you lift the sternum, again, go sideways, what you get is the shoulder blades at the back being drawn down and in. Okay, almost as though you're putting the point of your shoulder blades inside little pockets underneath. Now, what happens there is that we're activating the upper part of the back. We're lifting the sternum and focusing on those shoulder blades, just moving down slightly. Because what happens in poor posture, I'll sit forward again, is that we tend to slump. Maybe you're sat in front of a computer, you're sat on the sofa, you're driving. We tend to slump. And this part of the chest gets tight, these muscles get tight, so that's not good for breathing. And these muscles at the back are weak. They lengthen, and so they don't hold you up. So the more we can think about just lifting, and sometimes it's imagining there's a string pulling the chest forward. And as you do that, the chest comes forward slightly up, and you feel those shoulder blades, the pointy bits good down. So you're opening this area and you're strengthening those upper back muscles, which help you to keep your posture, good posture. And what also, as well as being good for the breathing, when you have that good posture, your spine is lengthened. You're not squashing the vertebrae, the joints, because that squashing isn't good for you. So it's lengthening, giving the spine space. So those two things are really important with the cat pose, the tilting of the pelvis, and then that imagining that string, pulling the chest forward, lifting it. It sort of goes forward and up, doesn't it? And then you feel those shoulder blades coming together. So all that is really important for the cat pose. So let's have a go. So sitting comfortably, feet on the floor, or if you need to put them on a cushion, have a little space behind you so you can move, so you're not right on the back. Bring your hands onto your thighs like you mean business. This, if you've got your fingertips pointing in, this sort of opens up, it gives you a bit more space. Okay, so I'm just going to, you stay there, sit like that. I'm going to sit sideways. Okay, hands on your thighs. Now, tilt your hip bones back. So what you're doing is the hip bones are tilting back as though you're slumping, and then pull in your tummy round through your spine, and just let your head relax down. Don't force the head moves last. The movement starts from the base. Now, bring your hip bones forward, like somebody's just knocked on the door and you've woken up. The hip bones come forward towards the front, lengthen through your spine. Now imagine there's a string pulling your chest forward, draw the shoulder blades down. You're not moving the shoulders, by the way. It's a subtle movement. The chest is pulled forward and you feel those shoulder blades moving down. So you've got a nice extension through your back as though your head's been drawn up to the ceiling. Go back now to the base, to the hip bones. Draw your hip bones back, tilt the pelvis, the top of the pelvis back, pull in your tummy and round your spine, and then just let the head relax. Go back to the hip bones, tilt your pelvis so the hip bones come forward, lift, lengthen through the spine, Imagine the sternum being drawn forwards. Let those shoulder blades draw down slightly and let the head come up. You're not straining the neck in any way. It's nice and comfortable. Okay, just relax a moment. So do a little bit of this movement, Playful Cat. See, how's that feeling? Hopefully that's feeling good. So you can let me know by wherever you're watching this video. There will be a way to contact me. So if you want to let me know. And just do a little bit of a gentle twist. If that works for you. Just ease out your back. Now, if you've had enough, you may want to rest. If you feel, actually, I feel I've worked my lower back, then rest. We're going to do that movement again. And I really want you to focus on the flow. Now, there is a certain way we breathe with this. We're not going to do that today. So just focus on breathing, keep breathing. But I want you to really think about the movement starting at the base of your spine each time and flowing up as you round the spine, and then it starts at the base again and you extend the spine. So it's a flow always from the base up. Okay, the base, the pelvic tilting is the first thing you do, and then everything follows from there. So really think about that flow of movement and let your breath flow easily. So hands on your thighs like you mean business. Good. So I'll go sideways again. It'll be easier for you to see what's happening. So tilt your hip bones back round the spine, flowing that movement from the base to the head. Go back now to the base. Bring those hips forward, tilting the pelvis. Lengthen through your spine. Draw the sternum forward. Shoulder blades moving down very slightly. The head comes up. And back to the base, flowing. Hips tilt back, rounding. Hips tilt forward, extending. Breathe easily. Hips tilt back, moving up the spine. Hips tilt forward, extending. Let's do one more each side if you can, each way, sorry. Hips tilt back, rounding. Hips tilt forward, extending. Well done. And relax. And then again, just move your body. The Playful Cat, just see how that feels, or you might want to circle the hips. You might feel it. You might feel you've worked those muscles and feel hopefully a little bit of release in your back. Maybe do a little twist. And the key to these things are to do these movements regularly. If you're interested in learning more, joining classes, just let me know. Otherwise, enjoy this video and I'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.